I think we should start.
Yeah, you can start, I guess.
Okay, so good evening, everyone, and welcome to session one of Android Study Jams. And today we will be discussing something very basic about Android that you guys should know, beginning from the language itself that we are going to use, and some very important concepts like views and layout. These all things are very important and are the very basic concepts that you guys will require in Android. Let's see the schedule for the day. Today, first of all, we'll be going through Kotlin Basics. We'll be getting introduced to Kotlin's syntax, its different kind of loops, different kind of variables and features, and many other stuffs. And secondly, we'll be going through Android Studio, the IDE that we'll be using for Android development, and also we will getting an understanding of how to get started with your first app in Android Studio, and also understanding how to use Android Studio to build apps and use Android Studio's feature to its most max potential. And also we'll be going through layouts and views. These are the most important, as I said. Having your concept clear in layout and views is very important. So let's get started. I do not have a slide prepared for today. So today we'll be going through directly to a hands-on session. And I would like you guys to head over to this site, that is play.kotlinlang.org, where you'll be moving to the Kotlin Playground, and then we can continue our session from here. I'll just share my screen. Just a second, guys. Is my screen visible to you guys?
Yeah, you can say it.
Yeah. Okay. You guys would be having some kind of comments over here on the top, and then you will have a main function over here. Is that so? Okay. So first of all, we'll be beginning with the very basic thing that happens in programming is beginning with a hello world program. So do you guys know how to print a hello world in Kotlin? Yep, that is very simple, right? You just have to write print hello world, right? And this would print a hello world message. Yep, yep, Tuhin, absolutely. Println also works, print2 works. So over here, you guys would notice that the fun keyword stands for function, and the main is a keyword in Kotlin that stands for the main function. And you guys know that in any programming language, the main function is the portion of the code which is executed. Whenever you click on run or try to run your program, the main function is the portion that gets executed. Anything outside the main function is not executed, and everything inside the main function will be executed. So every program in Kotlin will have a main function, will have this entry point from where your program is going to run. So Swapnanil has a doubt. I'll clear the doubt. Swapnanil, over here, if you see, I use the print function. Okay. Now, if I use the same print function to print Swapnanil, Is that correct, Swapnanil? Yeah. So what you would notice is that there is no spacing or any kind of a line difference between these two lines, right? Right. So why we use println is we use println to have the output that is printed by the println function, function to be in the next line, or you can simultaneously use the backslash n character also to do that. Did you get that, Swapnanil? Yep. Same line and next line. Yeah, same line means print does not have this next line character. It does not add that next line character. It just keeps on prints the whatever you have put inside the inverted commas. It'll just print that. It won't care about whether it has to be on the next line or has to be any space in between, nothing like that. So the println function is going to add a next line character after your code. Right over here, it is going to add a next line character, a backslash n. So if I did this, you notice this, right? This is not getting printed. This is the new line character, and this is going to put this thing into the next line. This is also an alternative way to do that, but you can also explicitly achieve that same kind of a feature with println. Okay. So the second thing that would be learning is how to use comments. Okay, so comments are very important in any programming language because they not only provide code readability and other stuffs, but they are also like portions of your code where the compiler does not, uh, execute these and does not take into consideration while executing your function. And how to write a single line comment is with the help of two forward slashes, like this. Like if this is a single line comment, this is a single line comment, this is how it is going to be executed. And this is not going to be executed by the compiler. And uh, this you can put this in your over here. If I put a comment on top of this function prints hello world. I hope you guys get it, right? This is very basic. And now we'll be moving to multi-line comments. That is how to make a multi-line comment. Like if I try to do this, this is the first line, and then if I try to put into a second line, this is happening by default. But if I don't put this, and if I try that, this is the second line, second. This is not going to be counted because this character, this double forward slash is just for a single line. So what you need to do to make multi-line comments is add a forward slash and then and an asterisk and a backslash and a forward slash, I'm sorry. So this is how you make a multi-line comment. Like suppose if you wanted to make a comment which includes more than one line or two line if you had to write something more descriptive. So this is how you can achieve that in Kotlin. It's just the same like in most languages like C, C++, or Java. Okay, now we'll be moving to a more important part, and the very important part, I should say, one of the most important is we'll be moving to variables. Variables. So variables in Kotlin or in any other language means anything means uh, a value that has to be passed into a variable is something that is to be used later, right? It is something that will be used later in our code, and it has to be stored somewhere. Do you guys understand what I meant to say? Give me a yes or no in the chat if you guys are getting what I'm trying to say. Yeah, anything or any value that has to be used later is it needs to be stored somewhere, and that is and variables are the places where we store our values or our variables or any other kind of things, right, which we want to use later. So there are two kinds of variables in Kotlin that are immutable variables, immutable and mutable. Okay. So what do you mean by immutable and mutable variable is that immutable in general means something that cannot be changed, and mutable means something which can be changed. So immutable variables are the variables which cannot be changed or whose values once defined cannot be altered. And mutable variables are the variables whose values can be changed or reassigned or can be um, changed later in due course of your program, right? So how to make immutable and mutable variables? Let me show you that. The way to make immutable variables is with the keyword val. We use val to make immutable keywords, like val a is equal to 5. Okay. Now if I try to change the value of a to something else, okay, if I try to change the value of a from 5 to 6 and it is an immutable variable, let us see what it should give. See, it tells me that val cannot be reassigned. This value, the value a, which was once provided as 5, cannot be reassigned to 6. Do you guys get it? So if I had to reassign this value of a to 6, then I would have to use the keyword var. Wherein stands where in short stands for variable, and val you can say as value. Like a will always have the value of 6 if you write it as val, or 5, and var means a is a variable that can have a value of 5 or 6, right? Now if I print a, what should be the output? 6. Variable a initial. No, it's going to be a, it's going to be 6. Yeah, it's going to be 6 because I reassigned its value to 6, right? Before it was when at the starting of its initialization it was 5, but later it was reassigned um, to 6. Okay, I'll explain it once again, Arunima. This is how we make a immutable variable in Kotlin, and this is how we make a mutable variable in Kotlin. Okay, val is used for immutable, that is, you cannot change the value of this variable that has been initialized with this keyword val later. Okay, and this is for mutable variables. The variables assigned with this var keyword can be reassigned later, its value can be changed. So if I print a, and if I print b, it should come out as 5 and 6, right? Okay, but if I try to change the value of a to 7, and if I try to change the value of b to 8, let's see what happens. See over here, this tells me that a cannot be reassigned. This one val cannot be reassigned. Val cannot be reassigned. A is the variable, is the immutable variable, right? Its value cannot be reassigned, and this will give you a compile time error, right? Before even your code even compiles and then executes, it's going to give you the error as soon as it starts compiling. So a cannot be um, reassigned, its value cannot be reassigned, but b can be. So if we just comment this out, b's value can be reassigned. So b is going to be now 8, because if, during its initialization, when it was initialized for the first time, its value was 6, but later its value was reassigned to 8. Do you guys get that? Okay, so now will be okay. So one thing that you guys did not notice or did not ask is that we are not putting data types like we put in any other languages, right? Like in a Java or in a C++ a program, you would have to write like int a is equals to 5, right? Int b is equals to 6. We have to do this, right? Otherwise the compiler is not going to, it's like auto keyword. Otherwise the compiler is not going to understand that what kind of a variable it is, right? And it is going to, like it is going to throw us an error like, tell me the data type of this variable before I can compile this, right? It is going to ask for that. So in Kotlin we can do that. Okay, we can initialize the variables with their data types, but I will tell you about the feature that Kotlin provides, which is known as type inference. So if I had to initialize this variable with the data types, I would have to write them as val val a of type int is equal to 5. Okay, this is how you do it. Val a of type int is equals to 5. Va- var b of type int is equals to 6. Okay, this is how you do that. But even if you do not write that, okay, even if you do not write that where b is of type int, it is going to be fine for the compiler, because in Kotlin we have this feature called type inference, by which the compiler is going to infer the type of the variable that we, by its a value that we are assigning. Like right now, if I do not assign anything to this value, it's going to be of type any. Okay, that will be discussed later. Any is another data type. But if I assign a value to this variable b, then according to that variable, Kotlin compiler is going to infer the data type of this variable. Like if I wrote it as a true, then this will be a boolean, then b will be a boolean. Okay, this is going to be a boolean then. Does I in int have to be in caps? Yes, it has to be in caps because this is a keyword, and it was designed and engineered in such a way only that the compiler will understand this keyword matching the same characters, the same capitalization and everything. We have not done that. People at JetBrains who have designed this language has made it in this way. So you will have to write in such a way. Okay, please repeat the last part. Which part do you want me to repeat, Supratik? The type inference part? Okay, I will repeat it. Like, see, the default the default part you said. Um, by default. Okay, you're asking for that. Okay, okay, okay. See, val. See, if I write this val a is equals to 5, this is going to be fine in Kotlin compiler. Okay, but this is not going to be fine in other languages like Java or C++, because over there you have to explicitly define the data type, right? You have to define the data types. And over here the Kotlin compiler is smart, because the value that you will be assigning to your variable is going to be the factor for the Kotlin compiler to infer its data type from there, right? If you are assigning an integer variable to your variable, I am sorry, integer value to your variable, it is going to infer its type as an integer. If you are assigning a boolean value to your variable, it is going to assign its value to it is going to infer its data type to a boolean. And if you are assigning a string value to the variable, it is going to infer it as a string, right? Like, but if you do not put any value to that, it is going to assign its value to any. Okay, any is a keyword. Okay, but right now I would not go deep into this because it is a higher concept. Okay, but some basic data types that you guys need to know are integers, strings, booleans, and yeah, that's it. That's what you guys will be requiring in Android. So let us say how to initialize a value of string. Val a is equals to, let's say, Kotlin. Okay, we can also write this as string Kotlin. This is also okay, and that was also okay. This is also okay. Okay, and then we have, suppose, a value of b is equals to, let's make this as hello, and let's make this value as Kotlin. If you guys can code along with me, that would be great. And you guys can also code something other than what I am coding. You can try out anything over here. The site is pinned in the chat. It is play.kotlinlang.org. This is the Kotlin Playground. So you do not need any Kotlin compiler installed in your system before running the programs. You can directly run the program from your browser. You just have to go to this site, and you guys can also try out. Okay, and I would suggest you guys to try out something new, so that you might, trying out something new and then falling into an error is also a part of your learning. That will help you learn even more. So if you guys fall into any kind of an error, then you can like ask in the chat, like, I tried something else other than what you taught and this what happened. Okay, so now I would teach you about a string interpolation. We have this feature called string interpolation, wherein we can like interpolate these two strings together in a single print statement. Okay, like if I were to print the value of both of these variables with a space, so how would I do that in some languages like Java or C, right? I would have to write a and then plus, then a space, and then plus, and then the variable, right? This is going to give me hello Kotlin, right? This is a string concatenation, as you guys know. This is used to concatenate these strings together. Oh yeah. Concatenate is equals to joining. Yeah. So but we have this feature wherein you do not have to type this plus or plus concatenation operator. And also what happens in the concatenation operator is that you have to explicitly check for where you want spaces and where you want your extra inverted commas or any other characters that you want to include, right? But over here, this will save you. String interpolation is going to save you because it is very easy, right? You just have to write a dollar sign and your value, and a dollar sign and your second value, and this is going to give the same result, and we do not have to worry about if we missed any space or any plus. See, right? Do you guys get it? What this string interpolation operator is going to do is it is going to fetch the value of this variable, and it is going to place that value into the string, into inside this inverted commas, right? Can you repeat this once more? Right, look over here, Sarnap. I can achieve this hello Kotlin by doing this, and also by doing this. Which one do you think is easier to understand? Definitely this one, right? And this both of them are going to do the same thing, right? This is known as concatenation, string concatenation. That is, one string value is getting appended to another string value, and we have to mind any kind of spaces that we want, or any other characters, any other kind of things that we want in between. We have to take care of them, right? And this is known as string interpolation, right? This value is going to be put inside this inverted commas, and it is going to means like come out of the print function. It is going to be printed, and we do not have to means like worry about this plus plus operator, this concatenation operator, and any other kind of spaces or any other kind of things that we want in between. We just have to put a space and put the second string, right? You get it? This is known as string interpolation. Like now, I will show you what more things you can do with string interpolation. Let's take it as 5, and then let's take it as 6, right? Now, if I wanted to print the sum of 5 and 6, then what would I have to do? Guys, a question for you guys. If I wanted to print the value of 5 and 6, the sum of 5 and 6, what would I have to do? How would I do that? Simple a plus b, where sum is equals to a plus b. Yeah, I have to take another variable where sum is equals to a plus b, and then I have to print sum, right? This is how you do that. But this can also be reduced with the help of string interpolation. Okay, I can directly print it. And if I wanted the string value of that, you guys get it?
And what if we like cut down the curly braces around? No, no, not the quotations, but the curly braces, the second brackets.
Then it would only consider this value.
Okay. And if I write like $A plus $B,
Then it would consider both those values. Then it would consider the value. Okay, just a second. Where's my charger? Okay, so then it would consider the value of A and consider the value of B, and then add them both. Oh no, this works for strings. So if I were to put a string, then it would print 5 plus 6. Yeah, that is how it happens. Do you guys get it, or you guys have any doubt?
nice. And if I want to do like print out 56, then I will write $A, $B. Just right. No plus
Yeah,
required.
yeah. This is for string interpolation, strings. Okay.
Okay.
Like if you have any string, I'm showing you this with the help of integer values. Like if you wanted to print out the sum, then you would directly add them, a plus b. But if you wanted the string value, right, if you wanted the string value of what the sum is, then you would do it like this. You get that? What is the data type of a string and b is int? No, both of them are integers over here. Okay, now if you guys are clear with this, then we'll move to conditional statements. If, for, and while, and also one special we have is when, if, for, while, and when. This resembles a switch statement, if you guys know. Resembles a switch statement in other languages like C, C++, Java. Okay, so let's jump into conditional statements. Like let us take a variable as val age of type int is equals to 18. Okay, and what is this? And if we wanted to make a check, like if your age is above 18, then we wanted to print something, and if your age is below 18, then we wanted to print something. In that case, we would use loops, right? Or conditional statements. No, we would use conditional statements, Arunima. um, if and when are for the conditional statements, and for and while are for the loops, right? So if we wanted to make a check if age is less than 18, let's make this age to 20, less than equal to 18, then we wanted to print you are not allowed. So what should it print? Yeah, exactly, Aratrika. It is like Java, but easier than Java. Exactly why Kotlin was built. So what should be the output of this program? Over here, our age variable has the value of 20, and we have this check wherein if the age is less than 18, then we would print you are not allowed, and if the age is greater than 18, then you would print you are allowed. You are allowed. Yep, exactly. So you guys understand it, right? Yep. Now let's see the for loop. Imagine if I wanted to print this uh, if I wanted to print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, how would I do that? In such cases, I would use loops, right? Or if I wanted to do this star star star, if I wanted to make a pattern of this kind, then I would use loops, right? This can also be achieved with help of print statements, but that would be kind of hectic. For 5 print statements it is okay: print 1, print 2, print 3, print 4, print 5. But imagine if you have 100, then even 50 is going to be a problem, right? You have to put a 50 print statement. So in that kind of cases, we use uh, for loops or loops. Okay, so in this case it is going to be for I in 1 to 5. People coming from Python can relate this thing: range uh, println I, right? So what it means over here is our variable is I, and I will have the values from 1 to 5, okay, in succession. Like for the first time in the loop, when the loop runs for the first time, it is going to have the value of 1. And then for the second time, when this execution is completed and again it enters the loop, it is going to have the value of 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5. So this is going to print as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No initialization required. No initialization required. When, how will we understand when it will increment or decrement? This is a range, Shubham. This is a range, 1 to 5. It is always going to be ascending, right? You cannot do this, right? You cannot do this 5 to 1. The range is always going to be ascending. You cannot make it descending. See, if I try to do this from 5 to 1, like 5 to 1, if I wanted to print it in the descending order, then it is going to do nothing. It just crashed or what? Yeah, this is not going to happen. You guys understand? Hey Ankana, did you notice what I just did here? You asked that what if we want to increment by some value? In that case, you would have to include this step, right? Step by 2. Like if we did not put anything, then it would take the step as 1. And if you want to explicitly put some value over there, and means like alter the default behavior, then you would have to use this. Okay, do you get that? Okay, so this is done. Now I would ask you guys to do one task, is that I want you guys to write a program that is going to print this pattern using a single print statement. Okay, a single print statement. How are you going to do that? There's a down to guess reverse. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I'll show that too. Yeah, Somadip said I forgot that. So you can also like if you wanted to have the descending kind of that feature, so you can use this thing. Okay, down to this is going to have the reverse of what we saw, the range operator, not operator, the range feature. The from 5 down to 1, it is going to print all in a descending order. And if you wanted to like right now it will print 5 4 3 2 1. And if you wanted to decrement by some value or skip it by some values, then you would have to use the same step by 2, and it is going to print 5 3 1. Get that? And now I want you guys to print this pattern using a single print statement. Yeah, you guys can paste your code over here if you guys have it.
A few people left after I told them to put their code in the chat. Don't worry, it is not an assignment or something. Will not call your name.
Fun mean for I in 1 to 3, for J in 1 to I, print star, print uh, print ln. No, I said you to use only one print statement, Ankana. Either you can use that print statement for the star, or you have to use the print statement for just use the print statement for making a new line, right? Use only one.
Can
And
you
let
do that using only one?
huh?
Can you do that using only one? Because there are multiple stars.
Yes, we can do that using one.
Wow.
Think. I told you, I have given you the answer way long back. I just asked this question to make sure you guys are following up with me. Yes, Bishwajit, Bishwajit has got the right answer. You can do this like this. See, it is very easy. Take a star and then a backslash n and then two stars and there's a backslash n and three stars. Nothing. No using loops or anything like that. Very simple.
Cheating. This was a cheating.
I just asked this question so that you guys can, like, these kind of situations are going to arise, right? You have to put into application what you learned. And these the more you explore, the more you can find places where you can put this kind of things into application, right? This is very easy. Okay, so we have covered if and for, I think, yeah. And then let us also cover while. So let me make a variable that is val a is equals to um, let's say 10, okay, or maybe 5. What, and then let's make a while check. So let us check while a is greater than 0. Till then we will print a 5 0 this, and also in this case you have to make a decrement explicitly. So this value of 5 is going to decrement after this loop is run for the first time, and then the same for the second time until it reaches a value of 0, where this condition is going to return false, and then our program execution is going to break out of the loop and is going to finish, right? So this is how you do that. Oh, I'm sorry. Also my this is going to be a var because its value is going to change after every loop, right? Simple, uh, just like any other language. If you guys come from any other language, it is going to be very easy for you guys. And also if you do not have any programming experience, just a little practice and these all things are going to be clear for you guys. Now let's move to the interesting part, that is our when statement. Okay, like if I have a value, let's say the value is 1, okay, and I want to based on this value I want to print a statement. Like if it is 1, I will want to print 1. If it is 2, I want to print 2. If it is 3, I want to print 3. Or if it is none of these, I want to print uh, something else. Okay, I can do that using if also, right? And then I would have to make many if else checks, right? But we can do this with the help of when. Okay, so we will check this when a then 1. If it is 1, then we want to print the value is 1. Or if the value is 2, print ln the value is 2. Or if it is 3, then print out the value. Or if it is any other value other than 1, 2, and 3, then we want to print out value is, I'm sorry, value is not recognized. So what is this going to print? It is going to print the value is 1. Okay, why? Because over here our variable stores the value 1, and this is checked over here. What is the value over here inside the when statement? If it matches a certain criteria, like I have mentioned 4 criterias over here, either 1, 2, 3, or anything other than 1, 2, 3, then we have corresponding print statements to that. Right, if I change this value to 2, then it is going to print the value is 2. default case is else over here, right? Yes. If it does not matches any value, then you have to put in else, so that in case if you do not have any value, so the else is there for, means like for default cases. For backup, you can say it is always going to have something to print out if it does not matches any other value. Okay. And how to take you input from user. Taking input from user is done with the help of read line. Like if I have a string, imagine, oh, I'm sorry, file a string, I have that like read line. This is how you do it. This read line things works for strings and integers. Okay, but if you want to take any other values like float or double or things like that, then you would have to use the scanner class. Like, do you guys know about scanner class? Scanner sc is equals to new scanner. Not in this is how you do it, but this is the same as in Java, but over here I'm not discussing this because in Android you guys should know it, but in Android you do not take input like this from the terminal or something like that, and mostly these values are not used, like integers, booleans are not used. So in Android, you use data types like text view, editable text, image view. These kind of values are used. So over there, you would not require this, and that is why I was not covering this. But you guys can go check this out. So read line is just for strings and integers. But if you wanted to take like input for like float or double or any other value, then you would have to use the scanner class, and you would also have to make imports for the scanner class. So let's move on. When is done, while is done, if is done, and for loop is also done. So next, just a second, guys. So I think most of our Kotlin is covered. If I have forgotten any topic, any important topic, you guys can remind me of that. But I think we should move to Android Studio now. It is already 7. So I think we should move to Android Studio. Can you guys see my screen? I'm sorry for that. Yeah, it's visible. So when you come inside your Android Studio, you guys should see something like that. When you create an empty activity or a basic activity or something like that, you are going to be provided with two files, that is your main activity.kt and your main activity main.xml, right? So over here, first of all, we'll be going through what these folders are for, and what is the total means like anatomy of the folder structure in Android Studio. So first of all, inside this you have your app folder, the folder app. I would like you guys to switch to your Android preview, like, which this is going to be this is helps easier viewing of all the files. And firstly, inside the app folder we have our manifest folder, which contains our Android manifest.xml. So this Android manifest.xml file is the manifest file, and this is an XML file, and this is you could say one of the most important file, because over here inside this file we mention about each and everything what our app contains, and what our app holds, like from a single activity to the permissions, the requirements, and the capabilities that our app has. Everything is mentioned over here. Like, if I wanted to mention if our app uses internet permission, then I would have to mention it over here. Like, if you do not mention it over here, like if you do not mention that our app requires internet permission, and if you try to do something regarding internet, that is not going to work. And this happens, right? People forget to mention things in their Android manifest file, and then like they spend hours and hours of thinking like why my app is not working, right? So every time you also create an activity, you have to mention, like over here we have a single activity, that is our main activity. But if I were to create another activity, I would have to mention it over here, right? I would have to mention it with another activity and the name of that activity. Everything has to be mentioned over here. Otherwise, your app is going to be like uh, act weird, or it is going to crash, or it is not going to respond, or something like that. Okay, so we are done with the manifest file. Now let's move to our Java folder. Our Java folder is going to contain three folder, that is the first one being com.example.asg session 1. ASG session 1 is this is going to means like symbolize the name of your app that you have put while creating the project. This is always going to be same. And then you can see two other files, that is Android test and test, right? These two folders are not means like required right now, but I would tell you about them also. These are for testing purposes, but inside this folder you have your main activity. Okay, so this is that activity file, and this is the layout file. Okay, this is the layout file, and you can see the code for the layout file. It is a XML file, and this XML file is going to be responsible for means like the layout that you are going to see on your screen. This is exactly the same thing that you're going to see on the screen. Okay, this is going to be the exactly same thing. If you run this app right now, you're going to see this hello world on your screen. Okay, and the main activity file, the main activity kt file, is the Kotlin file, is the file where you write the logic regarding your layout file, how your layout file should act to button clicks, how it should act to like image clicks, how it is going to react to changes, how it is going to react to navigation, means like if you wanted to switch from one activity to another activity, all of that has to be mentioned in your kt files, your activity kt files. Okay, and all of your design, all of your ui thing and everything is going to be uh, done over here in the activity file. Okay, so this is done, and this folder, these two folders are, like they store your test cases that you write. Like when your app becomes huge, very big, then you have to, means like test your app, automatically, automation testing. And there are different kinds like ui testing, integration testing. We'll not go through that right now, but they are important. So these folders are for storing our tests. Okay, uh, there are different kinds of tests, but the tests that do not require the android emulator, right, that do not require the screen, the phone screen, that are just particularly uh, related to the logic and stuff, and are not related to the ui and stuff, all of those tests are stored over here in this test folder. If you guys can see it over here, the third one. Okay, and the one written with that is written as android test, this is going to hold all of these test cases wherein the phone screen or the ui is required, where the ui is very important. Like if I press a button, and then what should be the response of the app, all of those test cases are going to be stored over here. Do you get it? Android test is going to store all the tests. Can the font be increased, please? Settings. This is this is just going to change the font of the setting. It is going to just change the font of this font, not this font. I don't know how to do that over here. But you guys can. The screen is a bit blurry, but you guys can go into your Android Studio and just check. These folders are going to be placed in the same order, like it is on my screen. You guys get it? Okay. So now inside the rest folder, oh, just a second, guys. Just a second. This is not working. Okay, so I'm sorry for that. My Android Studio is not responding. I think my RAM is doing some heavy work with the browsers and stuff like that. With browser open, Android Studio open, it sometimes doesn't respond. You guys can hear me, right? Got it in Android Studio. Yes. So inside the rest folder, you have how many folders? One, two, three, four, five. You have five folders. That is drawable, font, layout, map, and values. So in the drawable folder, you put all of the drawable assets like pictures and your logos, any SVG file or any kind of a photo or any kind of a icon, SVG or XML file that you want to include, any custom layout that you build and want to use later, you will put that inside your drawable file. Okay, drawable folder. And inside your fonts, you will have your fonts. Okay, any kind of custom font that you want, you can download that and use it over here, or you can also download it using Android Studio. I'll show you that later. And this layout file is going to contain all the layout. Okay, and right now we will be provided with this activity main.xml layout that is going to have the first layout that is going to be shown on your app. And over here you can make more layout, more activities. And your map folder is going to contain your launcher. Okay, this is the like icon that you see when your app is installed on your phone. Okay, this is the icon that is going to be shown on your phone. This is the default icon for the app. So if you want to change the icon for your app, you have to place it over here and make changes accordingly. And inside the values, you have uh, four four uh, four files, that is colors XML, font search. I don't know if you have that same thing or not, but you will definitely have this. Okay, colors XML, and you will definitely have this strings XML. Okay, this too will always be there, colors XML, for storing colors or making some means like some custom templates for your dark mode and light mode. You will store it over here. And inside your strings XML, you usually store strings. And because Android by default does not support, means like suggest or advise hard coded strings, so you first have to like write down your strings over here, and then you have to use it inside your Android. And inside your themes, you have your themes XML file and your themes XML night file. This theme is for your dark mode, the night one, and this is for your the normal one, the light mode. Okay, so now we would move into layouts and views. Okay. Oh, also, I'm so sorry. I would have to explain you about Gradle also. Gradle, the two most important files that you guys should know about is your build.gradle, your project one, and the build.gradle, the module, the app one. Okay, this mostly the app one is more important, but you should also know about this. Okay, so the app one is where you define any kind of dependencies that you're using. Like if you want to use some other third party libraries, or even like normal recycler views inside your app, you would have to go to the documentation, and over there it is mentioned that you first have to include this inside your build.gradle file to be able to use it. Like if I use recycler view, I would have to have this inside my dependencies over here. And everything is mentioned over here, what kind of plugins I'm using, what is the compile SDK, that this is the maximum SDK I'm using for 31, that is I think Android 11. and target SDK and the minimum SDK 21. I do not know what is that. I think it is uh, Oreo. I think Oreo or no Marshmallow. I think. And also Kotlin options, the JVM target compile options, and inside your build.gradle file you have the repositories. Okay, the repositories Google Maven Central, from where the dependencies are looked up. These are the places from where your dependencies are going to be looked up. Okay, and also I have a Gradle dependency and a Kotlin plugin dependency. These all the general dependencies will go over here that your whole app uses. Okay, and everything from top to bottom uses is Gradle and your Kotlin. See over here it is written, do not place your application dependencies here. They belong in the individual module Gradle file. They belong over here. Your dependencies that your app includes is going to be placed over here. Okay, and the general dependencies that every Android project needs are going to be placed over here. Do you guys get that? And let us now move into um, layouts and views. Okay, so um, what can we say? What is a view? Means like any small component that you see on your phone screen, either be it like a small text or an image or a button, is these are all views. Okay, these all are views. It can be, there are different kind of views. It can be a button view, it can be a text view, it can be a image view, or it can be a spinner, many things like that. A lot of things are there. Okay, and you guys will explore this as you guys keep learning. So the most you can see over here text view, button, image view, recycler view, fragment container view, many other switches are there. But the most basic ones are text view, button, and image view. Okay, so over here you can see this hello world, right? I don't know if you guys can see it or not. You can see this, right? This hello world. This hello world is a text view, and over here and the text view is stored inside a layout. Okay, all of these texts or the views are stored inside a view group. Okay, and that view group is contained in the layout, and that layout can either be a constant layout, or it can be a relative layout, or it can be a linear layout. But right now we use constant layout because it has the features of both a relative layout and linear layout. But there are certain cases where you might have to use a linear layout or a relative layout. But I'll be teaching you about constant layout because this is the most used and the most popular one and the most helpful one also right now, because you can just use this thing over here, this design drag and drop thing, and make changes, right? If I wanted to add a button over here, I could easily add that button over here, and you can directly constrain this. Okay, so what the feature constraint layout provides is that we have to constrain our views. Okay, like I have to tie this view inside the layout. If I don't tie this view, right now I'm seeing the button over here, but when I launch the app, this view might be over here, or it might be over here, or somewhere over here. It can be anywhere. So I have to constrain this layout of this view. Okay, so how do I do that? Is by dragging like this. I want to constrain its top to the bottom of this text view, and I want to constrain its bottom to the bottom of the parent. This is how you do it. Okay, you can also do this from here, but also you should learn how to do it from here. Okay, like you guys see it over here, what I have done is that I have constrained this button. See, I have constrained this button bottom to bottom of parent. What is the parent? This whole thing is the parent. This whole layout is the parent. Okay. And I have constrained the bottom of the means the bottom of the button to the bottom of the parent. This is the bottom of the parent and this is the bottom of the button. Okay. And I have also constrained the start of the button to the start of the parent. This is the start of the parent and this is the start of the button. Okay, and I have constrained the top of the button to the bottom of the text view. You can see it. I have constrained the top to the bottom of text view. Okay, ID text view. IDs are very important. Okay, whenever you make any kind of views, you need to have IDs. Okay, because IDs are helpful for just for constrainting, and also why IDs are necessary, because later in the Kotlin files where you write the logic for, like if I press this button, then I want these things to happen. In those cases also you need to have the IDs for these views. IDs are like unique identifiers with which you can access these views. Okay, whether it be the XML file, the layout file, or uh, the the logic file, the Kotlin file. Right over there also you can access it with the help of its ID, and you can access over here also with the help of its ID. So over here I am telling I'm constraining the top of the button to the bottom of the ID text view. This ID are the same one. Okay, do you understand? Screen is too blurred. Can you explain the button part? Can you see it now? Hey Swapnil, can you see it now? Yes. So what I meant to say is that in constraint layout, you have to constrain your views. If you don't constrain your views, what happens is that they float around in your screen. Okay. This hello world is constrained to the top of the parent, as you can see, to the top of the parent, to the left of the parent, to the right, to the left of the parent, to the right of the parent, and to the bottom of the parent. Okay, if I don't constrain it right now, I might be able to see it over here. Okay, but when I launch my app, I can run this right now, but I don't I do not want to run this because my RAM is kind of doing high work right now, and this would like cause my system to crash, I guess. But you guys can try this by yourself. Okay, if you check, if you do not constrain this, first of all, it is going to give you an error over here only. Okay, it is going to give you a warning over here. This is going to be red. Okay, like it will ask you to constrain at least two sides, either the top one or the bottom one or the left one, or means either the top and the right, or the top and this one, or the bottom and this left one, or the bottom and the right one. You have to like mention the constraints for like two sides. You have to mention it. Okay, otherwise what is going to happen is that if I don't constrain it properly, this is going to appear over here in this layout editor over here in this design tab. But when I run this on my app, this is going to float around. This is going to be over here, or either it is going to be over here, it is going to be over here, somewhere over here, anywhere. It can be anywhere. It is going to float around. So I have to constrain it. Okay, so how you constrain it is either by dragging and pulling it to whichever view you want, pulling this kind of chains to whichever view you want, or you can do that with the help of your code over here. Okay, like over here I have constrained the end of the button to the end of the parent, and I have constrained the start of the parent to the start of the button to the start of the parent. and I have constrained the top of the button to the end of the hello world text. You can see id text view, and I have constrained the bottom of the button with the bottom of the text view. I will increase the size of this text view so that you can see. I'll make it 22s. You guys should be able to see it right now. Okay. And I can also change the font. I have a font installed on my system, this architect's daughter. So I can use that at the rate font architect's daughter, and this is going to change. Okay. I can also change the text of this button, font family to architect's daughter. You see it? This is how you do it. Okay. Also, I will show you guys how to put a, just a second, let me download a picture and splash. In the time, if you guys have any question, you can put it in the, when I'm running it shows nothing in my emulator. Riaz, I'll help you with this later. Okay, if you can put this question in discord, we would get back to you later. So you guys, can you guys see my screen? You guys can see my screen, right? I have this image. Okay, I'll just rename this image. Refactor. Okay, this is the image. You guys can see it, I think. This is the image. Okay, so what we'll be doing is we'll be putting the image over here. So let me just remove this whole thing, and I'm going to put an image view, and I'm going to give it a width of match parent. Okay, so what match parent and wrap content means is that you would see two things. Okay, match parent and wrap content. Match parent means literally match parent. Okay, the width of this view is going to match its parent. So what is the parent over here? The whole screen is the parent. Okay, from this corner to this corner, from this corner, from this end to this end, the whole thing is the parent. Okay, and it is going to match the whole width of the parent, and the height also I would mention it to match parent. But if I were to mention wrap content means it is going to take only that much amount of space what is required by the view. Okay, so if a view does not have any writing, I means if a text view does not have any writing in between, it is not going to occupy any width or any height. But if it has a small writing, it is going to have that specific kind of width. Means, what I mean to say is that it is going to consume only that much space that is required by it. Okay, but if you give it a width of match parent and match parent height, it will have to, means like take up the whole width of the parent, and it will definitely take up the width of the whole parent. the height, I mean, it is going to match up, it is going to match the height of the parent, and it is going to match the width of the parent. Okay, so over here I will give it an id of, let's say, image view Christmas. And over here, what I said is that you always have to put whatever kind of pictures or any other things into your drawable folder. Okay, so over here I would have to write source, Android source, and then I am going to call it from drawable. Okay, if you guys can see my screen, I do not know, let me just a minute. Oh no. Just a second, guys. My Android Studio, my Android Studio is again stuck. Laptop. Yes, exactly, because my Chrome is also open with a few tabs. So when I generally run my Android Studio, I do not have, means I have my browser open, but with just one tab and nothing else. So I'll share my screen. How I added before how I added the image over here is I got the image from my Chrome. I downloaded it and I dragged that image inside the drawable. Okay, when you drag your image above the drawable folder, you are going to see a small plus like icon. Okay, and when you drop it over here, it is going to means like ask you that are you sure you want to means like move this folder into this and so, and then you can click on yes. And also you have to mind what kind of a naming convention you are providing to your files. That would be suggested to you automatically by Android Studio. You're going to have that red squiggly line over there, like they are going to say that hyphens or spaces or underscores are not allowed. Please remove that. Hyphens are not allowed, underscores are allowed. So nothing got saved. I will make an image view. Christmas. Okay, and then we are going to Okay, the email. So you can see over here, this so what I did over here is I made a text view. Okay, and I moved the text view on top of this, and this text view is having this text Merry Christmas, as you can see it. You can see it over here, right? Merry Christmas. And then it has a text color of white. If I do not put it white as white, you guys will see it as black. But if I put it as red or something like any other color, it might not be visible. So white is the most apt color right now. And a text size of 20 sp. Okay, I can also increase it. Okay, if you guys can see it right now. And now what I need to do is I need to constrain its top to the top of the parent, constrain it to the bottom of the parent, left to the left, and right to the right. So over here you can see your Merry Christmas. And let me make it black. This is better, right? So this thing is going to be the same as in your app. So over here you can also add a button, you can add a few more pages, and then you can like move from one page to another. Right now I'm just showing you how to make basic layouts. Okay, you can have this image view, or you can have certain text views. Okay, you can have many text views lined up in order, or you can have like buttons and this text views, image views, and then image views, text views. As you can imagine, you can try to build like a new layouts. And then we will have to create the transition of moving from one page to another. That will be doing next in our next session, how to move from one page to another with the help of intents and navigation. But for today's session, I'm going to keep it up to here, up to, and I want you guys to practice these things, because I could not explain each and everything over here, but there is a lot to explore and lot to learn. And I hope the code labs are going to be like more helpful, because over there each and everything is mentioned in detail, what to use, when to use, and I want you guys to practice with that. And yeah, that's it for today on the basic layouts and basic views are, I guess, clear to you guys. We use mostly like the text views, image views, and buttons. These are used very, means like in each and every activity, in each and every fragment, in each and every layout, you will have these things. And then we will be moving to like more higher views, more higher view groups, and stuffs like that. But for today, I think this is going to be it. And now if you guys have any doubts before next episode, which unit shall we complete next before next episode, I want you to complete the units 3 and 4, because I'll be covering them. And also I want you to go through recycler view, because I think I'll be um, going in detail with recycler view, because recycler view is very important, and I want you to have a clear understanding of what recycler view is, why recycler view is preferred, and how to implement in recycler view. Okay, recycler view. So those who have any kind of doubts or issues, you can ask me your questions right now. And if you have any doubts, if you have any issues regarding your Android Studio, I would ask you to drop your issues in Discord, and then we can have a look on them. So any questions on any portion of